It's called a promo,
Shut
kid,
your
and
mouth,
if you want to
John.
be the big dog, you're going to have to learn how to do it, so go ahead.
You ready? No! I said, are you ready?
That was good. I'm glad you finally decided to pull that giant stick out of your butt and have some fun for once in your life.
You're uneducated marks! You sit there on your phones tweeting out your opinions like they're worth a damn. Let me explain something to you people. You don't know shit!
And I'd like to think that maybe this company will be better after...
It took a second. That was like, oh no, did I break it? It took a second, but I did it. I made it.
We're here, baby. We're here.
Just a two-man crew tonight because we're working on the midnight oil. We got 2 men and it's after midnight.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Remind me.
Before we start anything, I have to flex. I got this shirt this past week, and I wanted to bust it out just for this episode. What's cool about this is a 1 of 50. They only made 50 of these shirts in this color, and I love green. But what's cooler about mine is mine's a botch. The logo isn't printed on there correctly, so I got a 1 of 1 on me right now.
Oh, legendary status. Look at you.
1 of 1 Kenny Omega shirt. I wanted to debut it on the Revolution episode, and you came with the Will Ospreay shirt.
Yeah. If you were doing Kenny, I'm doing Will.
I love that.
This is the New Japan one before he came to AEW.
Yeah, that's absolutely sick.
Thank you.
Well, the pay-per-view was just as adequately sick, I would say. We're about to jump into another great Revolution. These Revolution pay-per-views are only better and better every year.
Banger after
And
banger.
can confirm. Can confirm.
This is the evolution of Revolution.
Drink it in, man.
Revolution's mystery. Anyways.
So,
Normally, I watch AEW pay-per-views on YouTube. Since that option became available, that's my thing, and I like it. But I decided I was going to opt into the Amazon Prime version this time since it was an option, and I'm a Prime member, and I enjoyed it. It was a great viewing experience. I'm like, I want to do this every time.
I did the same thing too, actually, and I had no problems. Everything was smooth, and been watching it from 0 hour all the way through.
Yeah, no skips or anything. Dylan even texted me during the pay-per-view asking if anyone else was having trouble. I was like, not me. He got it on. Sorry, not to like down or anything. I'm not trying to throw shade. Apparently theirs wasn't as good.
I heard on, online through X and stuff, excuse me, that I think they were having a little bit of a hiccups on, like I said, or like you said, no shade, I think they were just having a little bit of hiccups.
Yeah, and I enjoyed watching it on Amazon. Also, I feel like this is a great segue to plug getting Amazon exclusive AEW tees from our Wrestling in the Middle affiliate page on Amazon.
that's cool.
Click on it right there. It's somewhere right there. Just click
Literally
on it.
down in the description. Or you just go to the link tree and all our links are there. So it's a tree of links.
Go ahead and support the homies. Go ahead and buy the merch.
Click the learning tree of links.
There you go.
Drink it in, man.
Now, a lot of people felt like with AEW being streamed on Max and like a lot of their catalog going to Max that people should just be able to watch pay-per-views through there instead. But I feel like it's kind of like a sign of the company still needing to generate a little bit of revenue in that area to deal or like compete with the powerhouse that is WWE. And that's the one area where WWE is ahead so vastly still, is having their pay-per-views available to Peacock, their current parent streaming service. But I feel like I think if AEW can ever get to the point of not needing to charge $50 per month for pay-per-view events, they're going to have to do so by diversifying the wealth and generating new money in other areas of the business, whether it be like merchandising or otherwise. I feel like we're going to have to pay $50 a month for pay-per-view unless they start making money other places. But if they make a better video game.
Damn. To be completely fair and honest with you, $49.99 for some, I would say for the average person that maybe doesn't have that, it could be a lot. To me, I think they give you, if you think about it from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, literally almost like 6 hours of wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I got way more than $49.99 worth, to be honest with you. I could see both what you're saying though, because I also heard that in the UK they got theirs for $19.99 on the Amazon Prime compared to the US. We're paying 50. Unless I guess you got a VPN, you could always do VPN, I guess too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. A lot of people, that's why they get a private VPN to, have an international network to pay less prices. And hey, more power to you. I like you always say. You say this all the time. I'm like, you know what, Jeff? I feel that. I don't mind paying it because I support the company and I love the product. I want to see the business grow to where I don't have to. They don't need me to.
Facts. Okay, that's fair enough to say. And
I just want to give my business insider 2 cents. The business insider.
Let me just put them on real quick. There's nothing wrong with that because I want the same thing too. They're still a growing company, and I think we're in the right direction though, where we're heading from everything from production, music, video packaging, merchandise. Everything's been on the up and up, in my opinion.
Next is games.
Drink it in, man.
Definitely, we need to fix that one though. Definitely games.
Okay, so let's start 0 hour. Jump right in. We got ROH tag team action. Blake Christian, Lee Johnson versus our boy Hologram and Commander. Two people we're very familiar. Actually, we're familiar with all these guys for as many ROH shows we've been to in the past year.
And Collision.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match. A lot of great spots. And I wanted to say Hologram looked good, but everybody looked good. So I can't really just single Hologram out when everybody looked great.
Can I just say one of my pet peeves that they keep on saying is Dallas, Texas. When they say he made his debut in Dallas, Texas, I was like, it was Arlington, Texas. I don't know why everyone just keeps on forgetting about Arlington. All In is in Arlington. Texas Rangers is an Arlington team, not a Dallas team. But yeah, that's it. I just want to throw that out there just for people that are watching. It's not Dallas. It's Arlington. Yeah. He debuted
I know that. I know that, and I know the specificity of it. And then I can also answer it because I'm not originally from Dallas, and I've just, worked so much in the area and hang out with you guys. But I know from an outsider perspective, my whole life it's always just been Dallas. No matter if it's Fort Worth, Arlington, or Gardendale, no matter what subsection of DFW it is, to everyone else in the world, it's just Dallas.
It's just Dallas, exactly. It's only in Texas, it's Dallas. People are familiar with Dallas, Austin, and Houston, mainly, or in El Paso. I'll give El Paso. That's about it.
It's like all the people from the boroughs of New York being like, well, I don't live in New York City, but it's all New York City to us.
Exactly. Fair enough.
But let's get back to it. Hologram and Commander get the win. No surprise there.
Of course.
Roll Hologram. After that, we get an 8-man tag match. We love our 0 hour tag matches. But this one had Undisputed in it. Undisputed and Daniel Garcia, and I found that interesting. Versus Shane Taylor Promotions and the Infantry, who I'm not used to seeing as heels still.
I love their outfits. By the way, they were nice. So nice. The outfits the infantry was supporting. Everyone in the household was rocking with the infantry, surprisingly. No surprise here on our side.
No matter if they're baby faces or heels, still rocking with them.
Yeah, they're so good.
Solid match from the jump. I always like that. We see the ops posted up in the balcony.
They're cooking, bro. They're studying and waiting, like they said, waiting for someone to slip.
The ops waiting to catch someone slipping.
Bro, that's what they said, though.
I know.
I'm repeating what they said.
I just loved it. Matches are good, back and forth. Undisputed gets set up to win it before Daniel Garcia tags himself in, and he steals the win, making an enemy out of the wrong man, Adam Cole. You don't want to make an enemy out of him. He's got a mean streak.
I'm excited for where the storyline's going to be heading.
No. For this pay-per-view, I had a bingo card. I feel like I had a Revolution bingo card, that had things like I predicted somebody winning one title, somebody retaining another. The biggest one, though, that everybody disagreed with, fairly enough, which I sent out as a tweet, Eddie Kingston and/or Speedball Mike Bailey were going to debut as new members of the Death Riders. So that was my pre-tweet before getting in the show. I always show tweets as I send them out.
May I ask, what was your logical thinking on Eddie Kingston?
Yeah, with Speedball is kind of a stretch because Speedball's such a damn baby face. I can't. It's like I can't really expect him to go heel, but Speedball had that Taekwondo background and like that there could be some legitimacy to it. With Eddie Kingston, it just goes back to how much history him and Moxley have, and if anybody wants to keep the mission of AEW alive, like John Moxley sees the vision, it's Eddie Kingston, and that's through violence. And Eddie Kingston knows violence. Just a thought.
Okay.
Just a thought.
No, that makes sense hearing him because when you texted, I was all like, Eddie Kingston's an AEW guy, though. Like, I don't think he would want it. But then again,
That's what we're trying to save.
let's save AEW.
Yeah. Now, the next 0 hour match is Gravity versus Jericho, which wasn't an actual match because Jericho, of course, feuding with Bandito, who I love. I love Bandito. He attacks Gravity with a bat before the match, though, and then Bandito scurries on in, comes to the rescue, gets beat up by the Learning Trio as well. And then the part that I can't get out of my brain, Jericho unmasks Gravity in front of Bandito, and I could still see his face in my brain.
Bro, I didn't see the face because I thought they did a good job with the long hair covering. I only felt bad for the fact that his sister and his mom had to watch that. But let me tell you, the mom, whether she believes wrestling or not, she was selling it. Like, I could definitely see her. She was like, Dios mío.
She's been selling for generations. She's been selling from the time she was a girl.
Bro, I'm just like, wow. They really did that. They came out to see their son and watch their brother, and then they didn't even get to see. I know.
The fact that I don't remember if it was the mom or the sister, but one of them was wearing a Gravity T-shirt. Like that's the only Gravity T-shirt I've ever seen.
Like, I didn't expect it, to be honest. Which it worked because it definitely gained him heat, and now I'm pretty sure my prediction he's gonna be wearing that mask.
Oh, that's
just exactly. I'm just saying, Jericho knows how to do it.
Okay, I wanna point something out to everybody else. An inside thing. Me and Jeff have a goal to not drop the F-bomb during this whole episode, and I'm the first one to break it already. So let's just let that go now. I was the first one to slip.
You already slipped? I didn't even catch you.
You didn't catch it. I'm that subtle with it. At the same time, this situation got me that in my feelings. Seeing a maskless Gravity get beat up in front of his family.
Get the I was like, I couldn't hold it anymore.
The next one, you'll like this too. I had to make it interesting for myself. We have MX Collection and Johnny TV versus Orange Cassidy with the Rizzler, Mark Briscoe and AJ Boom Boom McCookie Pants.
What? Why'd you call them AJ McBoom Boom Cookie Pants? Why are you disrespecting them like that? They're nice people.
First of all, his gear was cookie themed. I have the right, and also I think that's a great name. How do you feel about this match? How do you feel about it?
First off, love the match, and I think this was one of my. As soon as MXM came out, I was literally this close to actually switching my Will Ospreay shirt and throwing on my MXM shirt. To be honest with you,
that's fair.
But I loved everything about it. I liked. Believe it or not, I'm becoming more of a fan of Johnny TV. You know, or for some people, known him as Johnny Drip Drip or whatever version of of Johnny.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of versions out there. I thought this match was super fun, entertaining as hell though. Loved the entertaining factor. I think it had everything from the entrance of Orange Cassidy to with the Rizzler. Huge pop, by the way. Huge freaking pop. And the fact that the Rizzler was even dressed up as Orange Cassidy, that was so good. And it was nothing but Orange Cassidy, doing his thing, putting his, his arm on his head, just doing the
acknowledge me.
And it was so good, bro. So freaking good.
Yeah, I'll admit it was entertaining. The Orange Cassidy entrance was great. And I think because I'm not particular to liking celebrities in wrestling, especially when it's not done very well. But I think the way to go about it is easy for people like me to make it digestible. Put them in big tag team matches with people who are actually like 5 caliber stars, 5-star calibers. I got that mixed up.
Yeah. Well, at least he respects the business. He respects the business.
No surprise, Orange, Mark, and McCookie Pants get the win.
Hey, I enjoyed the power bombs and the book. The fact that the one that got me is when he slammed him and Bryce and Chicken. They are like, whoa!
Yeah,
They fell back. I was like, yes, yes, boom. That gets a boom, 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 boom.
I was like, they're such team players for doing that, for selling it that hard.
You got to, man. You got to give the people what they want. They did
people what they want.
They hugged the father and son duo, and then they did the camera shot, and he said, "Yeah, that's to give the people what they want," and I got what I wanted.
Yeah, we needed that. Actually, we needed that call right there. Actual pay-per-view time. All right, I'm scrolling into actual pay-per-view.
Oh snap! We're here, main course.
Yeah, I'm not here to dilly-dally or lollygag or waste time of any sort. Hangman MJF, and MJF fakes out the crowd during the entrances and makes people think Hangman's coming out first, but nah.
With the original theme, by the way.
Yes, yeah, he trolled everybody.
Got him. He's like,
Hangman comes out with a new haircut, I believe, as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is that what was different about him? I was wondering what was different about him.
Shortened the do a little bit. Took some inches off.
He's like just a little bit off the top.
Yeah, made him look edgier. Two men fight hard and heavy from out the gate. I mean, the build-up probably called for them to fight hard and heavy out the gate. MJF spits in Hangman's face a couple times and then teabags him.
Disrespectful, bro. So disrespectful. A grown man doing it in front of all those fans in the crypto center. Very disrespectful.
Yeah. Hangman beats up on MJF a bunch because he got teabagged. She makes man mad. But doesn't put him away just yet. MJF gets on commentary and drops an F-bomb and such, and then he gives Hangman a tombstone pile driver on a chair on the outside. Onto a chair on the outside. It's
6 spot, by the way, and the chair did not break, which was good. And I was like, yo, that was a solid thud shot. And I was like, everyone thought, some of my friends here thought it should have been, they're like, oh, and I think you already know who it is. Turtle thought it should have been he's like, that's not the finish? I was like, get over yourself, bro. No, it's not the finish.
He tries to win it via count out, which, I mean, nobody's going to be happy if that's the finish. A count out finish to a match that's been building this long.
No.
And, of course, Hangman comes back in at 9, which we all kind of know. And this causes MJF to have a breakdown, just a mid-match meltdown completely. Why can't it be me, he screams. Why him and not me to the fans? Why him, not me?
They know. He should know better by now.
Hangman hits a Deadeye and Angel Wings and a buckshot lariat to pin MJF for 3 and get a win. And we know who the top star in AEW right now is.
Drink it in, man.
There's more to that coming, but I have to get to another match to get on that. So that's why I do this number right here, if anybody caught that.
I caught it.
All right, let's move on to something that took my breath away without me expecting to. And I don't know why I don't have high expectations anymore for Mercedes Moné and TBS.
Don't know why people still sleep on this.
They need to stop, and I think I learned my lesson this evening.
Good. Mercedes
versus Momo. I was excited for this match. I was rooting for Momo, but obviously going in, I'm predicting Mercedes to retain. Still, rooting for Momo Watanabe. That would be awesome to just see a pop-up victory and see her win the TBS title.
I would have been definitely okay with it as a Stardom fan and as a Momo fan. I would have popped hard.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, she doesn't. But this match, stupendous. That's the word I would use for it. Stupendous. Great spots, hard hits, back and forth. Like, all in all, fundamentally sound matchup. Completely fundamentally sound. I was like, this is great.
Give me a hell yeah.
I was invested the entire time.
She was giving her them stiff kicks, bro, and I think she caught one of them in the face, full force.
So much, she ate it.
They even showed the replay, and then if you actually watch Mercedes when she lives, she has like a big, like freaking, like bruise right here on the chin where she caught her.
Oof.
I was like, oof. Oof, but Mercedes is a champ, man. These women, ladies and gentlemen, they were going at it. It was just nothing but a standing ovations, and rightfully so for the 50-50 cheer chant, which I was happy to hear Momo getting her flowers in that.
Yeah. We see Billy Starks up in the crowd taking notes amidst this match. She's kind of been seen off and on backstage during this.
I have a feeling what I think they're building to, and I'm for it.
What do you think they're building to? I mean, I think I do too, but
I think if this, to me, this is going to be long term. I think it's going towards Athena and Mercedes, and I think it's going to end it all in. And my prediction, you can call it here right now, that's when she'll drop it at All in Arlington, Texas.
I'm on all of that. I'm just at the finish of that. I'm debating whether we see Athena win the TBS title or we see Mercedes Moné win the ROH women's title.
Ooh.
Bigger moment, but I don't
add a collection. Add that to a collection.
Yeah. Huge. I don't want it, but at the same time, like that's a huge moment, especially a big all-in moment. And either way you go, like Athena wins the TBS title and beats Mercedes. That's a big deal. And now we get to see Athena on AEW television regularly. Finally.
I think it's about time.
Yeah. Well, that's what's great about that situation is we can only see. I just feel like with All In still being months away and us having another pay-per-view in between, I'm like, how do we long-term build this stuff?
I think that's where Billy might interject in. But
we're skipping to All In before Dynasty, and we're on right now. After a long series of amazing spots in the TBS title match, though, and Momo bringing it, she brought it. We see Mercedes hit the moneymaker and the statement and makes Momo tap out.
In the middle of the gosh darn ring.
Just a stupendous match. That's all I could say.
Definitely reward. I'm definitely going to rewatch that one later on tomorrow.
Now, before the Swerve and Ricochet match, I sent out a tweet, and I'm glad I'm going to go ahead and spoil it now. I was wrong, and I'm glad I was wrong. Said I have a theory that I hate, but I just believe it, unfortunately. Prince Nana is leaving Swerve for Ricochet tonight. He did not.
That's wild.
Thank God he did not, and I was completely wrong. There's times where I don't want to be right, and that was one of them. Now, Ricochet comes out with the embassy robe and has elements of it in his entrance, which, again, that kind of played into why I was feeling that way. I was like, damn, is Ricochet trying to, like, hint that him and Nana are working behind the scenes?
Behind Swerve's back?
Swerve Strickland makes an entrance with a live drummer, and it turns into a cluster of noises that did not go together well. I love live entrances, but that was just a clash of noises that didn't need to happen. Oh my goodness, the overstimulation alone.
I understand in the beginning it was a lot. I think there was when they did the back shot of him, not back shot, but the wide shot of him doing this, and the drummer hit a beat. It was one point that it went on beat.
He finally got back in rhythm, and then he lost it somewhere along the way. He finally got it, and was like, no.
Looks like we've had enough.
It was like a rock version. It was doing a rock and hip hop mashup version.
But this bitch is getting on my nerves.
It wasn't going well. Bell rings. Fans start screaming, "You are bald" at Ricochet. Soon as that bell rings. Sometimes the bell rings, you get a like, "This is awesome" chant. You get a like, "Holy shit" chants. For this, we got, "You're bald."
Straight up go. At least there was no toilet paper, which I was happy.
Yeah.
You can't disrespect this man anymore. This man's oof.
As soon as the "You're bald" chants stop, we see these guys start beating each other up, and that was no surprise. There's a lot of bad blood coming in. We can see Swerve accidentally push Nana, and this makes Prince Nana walk out and leave, flipping them off on the way out. Again, like, you can't call me crazy for thinking he's leaving.
No, I didn't. I thought maybe you were right when I saw that point.
Match gets physical from there. And I think I'm noticing this becomes a note in almost every match, is they're all physical matches. But
The best way to put it, because everyone's giving it their all in these matches.
Yeah.
Nobody holding punches. Some of them are just like slobber knockers, straight up
Slobber knockers. My favorite term. Swerve plants Ricochet on the Spanish announce desk hard as hell, and he hits Swerve with a stomp right after that. Doesn't even get the win. Like, I thought that would have been it.
That part, we were all kind of flipping our shit. I can say shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were flipping our shit at that spot. We were like, holy shit.
You can say it, you just can't take one. Ricochet hits a 630 and doesn't get the win either. Again, another point where I'm like, oh, Ricochet is actually going to go over and win this. Wow. Nope. That didn't.
Nope.
Looks like we've had
Not that time. Nana comes back out and tries to steal his robe back, but Ricochet suicide dives out onto him. Then he catches Swerve trying to do the same thing, trying to suicide dive out, and flips him into a rough-looking Death Valley driver on the floor. And I thought that landing was cringeworthy.
It was tough, bro. It was tough. In my opinion, that was tough.
That was not it. Then Nana gets involved trying to steal his coat back again and gets smashed a couple more times.
That man took 3 bullets tonight.
I was like, I feel like 3 might be underselling it. It might have been more.
Really?
Unless you specifically counted 3, in which case probably.
I counted the push. We got to the second one where he tries to get the jacket back. And then I'm pretty sure you're going to hit the third one if you did pick it up.
Swerve hits another Swerve stomp that Ricochet kicks out of, and then he hits big pressure to win the match in the number 1 contender spot. And it was like, no, I don't have another note on the fact that Swerve gave him his coat back.
Give me a hell yeah.
He, first of all, when he gave his coat back, and may I also add that Leslie Jones was going ape shit. And I loved every bit of it because she brought the energy, bro. She was bringing the energy for that match. She was definitely a Swerve fanatic.
I didn't even realize it was her at first. I didn't know what was going on. Like, if this was a plant, why? I was like, something's happening. Is that Nana's mama or something? Like, I don't know what's happening.
No, they had some of the SNL cast because I saw another one of them that I'm familiar with. They had they had some celebrities tonight, and I was actually happy for that, especially for the gemstones.
It's Los Angeles, it's Hollywood, and I don't mention it a lot. I just wanted to give a shout out to our friend Paul Walterhauser being all over the place.
My man.
Thank you.
Match went off like crazy, though. Match went completely off. And then again, after the match, Swerve gets down on one knee and gives Prince Nana his coat back.
Acknowledge me.
Cinema.
It's just pure cinema.
I enjoyed that spot. It was just the kneeling, and then he lips when he's like mouthing, and you're reading the mouthing of the lips. Said, "I did this all for you."
Yeah,
and you could just tell in his face. He just came from hell, fighting tooth and nail just for this coat. And then he gets on one knee, and just like a knight about to be knighted by a king or a queen, hands him the robe as he's presenting it. And it was just so good, the shot and everything. And on this side, where we were watching, we were all standing up and just clapping because of how that little cherry, that little garnish on top of that dish right there. It was like, enjoy this meal.
Yes. It's nothing but hearts.
There's some hearts in there. Get some hearts up in there because I love that. Yeah.
All right, AEW Continental title. One of my favorite belts that nobody else loves but me, apparently. Big Bad Brody King versus Okada, which was a match going in, sounded like a hard hitter and what could be a hidden gem on the card. This would probably be my hidden gem match, the one that you don't expect to be as good as it is. But match is certainly that as far as my opinion goes, though much slower paced. And I didn't like the position of this match on this card for that reason. It felt like this match could have been like second on the card and made it more digestible to people. But if you put it right after Swerve and Ricochet, it has the potential to be overlooked or slept on, certainly. Because that Ricochet and Swerve match went off without, I think, anybody really expecting it to go.
Give me a hell yeah.
It's like,
you were gonna watch. That was a classic for sure. I'm actually looking forward to seeing the reviews on some people's opinions. I'll just say just to see what they also think.
the consensus. Here's one thing I have on here. I'm already like preview reading. I'm like, yeah, I'm concerned about that, and I hope it's nothing. Okada gets severely bruised up in this match, which again, that's fine. This is a hard-hitting match against Brody. But there's one specific area of bruising that I want to take concern with. It's that right arm where it starts to form like a large dark bruise around the lower bicep area, and that usually sometimes can indicate tearing in the muscle. So I'm seriously hoping that like nothing's torn or his biceps fine, because that was concerning to look at. I was like, whoa, from a medical standpoint, that doesn't look good.
I was going to say he was taking the most gnarliest chops, bro. Like, he cut him open.
Forget the bicep. His chest from top to bottom was completely shattered red.
Yeah, bro. He was bleeding from the chest, bleeding from the arm and chest. And I was all like, that was just from chops.
It was just that right arm's concerning to me. I hope it's fine. We need Okada around, especially again with the goal being Omega Okada at All In. I need Okada to be okay.
We definitely. I think, me personally, I think he is okay. So,
yeah,
prayers up, fingers crossed.
Prayers up, no middle fingers up.
No middle fingers up on this one. No, for my boy.
Okada brings a chair into the ring to distract the ref, then hits Brody King with a belt and tries to pin him, but Brody kicks out because he's a tough SOB. Not too long after that, he hits Brody with a Rainmaker and gets a definitive win that way. And I love to see it.
Yeah.
What did you think of their entrance, by the way?
The Brody King's entrance?
Brody's first and then Okada's. What'd you think?
Okada's is always magnificent. Yeah, Okada's entrance doesn't even need an extra comment. It was magnificent.
Brody's in that arena, bro, it just was tough. And I was like, this dude, and hearing everyone just go, oof.
I can't remember if it was, I think it was Nigel or maybe it was Tony that made the call, and I didn't even make note of it because I didn't think it was that important, but it is kind of funny to me. During Brody's entrance, there was a call somebody made that was like, I think it was Nigel, said he barks like a dog, but he's far from a bitch. And I was like, wow. I was like, that's the line right there.
I was like, my man, I love commentary team. I love the AEW commentary team.
Yeah, the commentary team tonight, even no matter if they alternated Nigel or Jim Ross or whoever, everybody was hitting at all times. It was hilarious.
Oh, bro, loved it.
Now, with the AEW tag team title match, no matter who won, I was going to be supportive of. I felt like the Outrunners, while fun, probably not going to be taking down the Hurt Syndicate, but nonetheless, we're excited for it, right? Like,
yeah, of course. That's my boys. I like both teams.
When they stopped the Murder Machines from being the number one contenders, like at that point, I was like, yeah, this is fun. They're not going to win the titles, but this is fun. We pulled one over with the Outrunners, and they're on the pay-per-view card. And they didn't look bad. They
look great. They look great. The Hurt Syndicate definitely did their thing, and
they hurt people.
They hurt people, and they made the Outrunners look good, bro. They made them look good and tough.
That's what I wrote down. They looked fantastic, and I'm glad it wasn't a squash match. Likewise, like no surprise, Hurt Syndicate get a definitive win. They the double down on the finish. Like, we're gonna knee spear combo both of them. Make sure they know we hurt people, and we hurt them bad.
That was. There's so much to take from this match we're just hitting it all points so quick, but God, that match was really good. Really good. And I'm like, you got to go watch it. If y'all haven't watched it, you need to watch that match. That match was so good.
It'll get overshadowed by the next one. The next one won't be an easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. No, this is going to be a bloody 5-star banger. This is already on our match of the year watch list.
Oh, yeah. Hands down. Hands the F down.
A lot of people felt like, even with the storyline being as big as it is, this match should have been the main event of the pay-per-view. And then afterwards, that's a lot of people have been saying that this match should have main event of the show. And I will go to the end of the show and see if that still applies. But I will say, no matter where it was, this match was phenomenal. And I can't wait to break it down. Break it down. The match it's a match that feeds out of a storyline that garnered awards for storyline of the year for 2 years straight, for character gimmick of the year, and women's wrestler of the year, and Toni Storm. And it's Toni Storm, timeless Toni Storm, correction, versus her number one rival to Mariah May. So like, it's a huge match, and it's the big Hollywood ending, right? That's everything about this match screamed this is the end of the road right here. This is where all things lead to. And the match had a main event appeal for sure, a main event build up, but Jim Ross getting added to the commentary team gives it that aura twice, tenfold even.
Oh yeah, he clocked in for this one.
He said, "I'm clocking in."
He clocked in to work for that match. He was not going to miss this one. He knew. But yeah, I agree.
Hollywood ending match. Anything goes. Falls count anywhere. Shit got me feeling alive. That's what I wrote down. I wrote that down. Shit got me feeling alive.
As it should, bro. As it should.
Mariah May comes out in wedding-themed gear, wedding-themed attire, wearing a bridal veil as well. And then Toni makes it her entrance to a huge crowd pop. Crowd pops massively again because a lot of this is sponsored by Queen of the Ring, and the promotional thing is the movie Queen of the Ring, which Toni Storm had a great role in. I haven't gotten to see it yet myself.
I'm planning to go see it.
Yeah, so everybody is like, "Oh, this is the match we're all here for." Again, main event feel. But Mariah May runs up the ramp, fights her immediately, spits in Luther's face. What are you gonna do?
Luther, poor Luther.
I know. So this is a quick question. Have you been watching AEW since the start of it, or at least before? Because I know you've probably actually been watching it a little longer than I have.
When I started, it had to be around when, believe it or not, I think it was when MJF got into the inner circles when I started watching AEW. From there, moving forward, I haven't really missed much.
Gotcha. I was just curious if you watched any of Luther's stuff before this, like older Luther.
In Dark and Elevation, yes.
Yeah.
Of course, when he was with Serpentico.
Yeah. And
I'm familiar with that Luther.
I saw some indie stuff from him too. I was like, oh yeah, I forget. Like Luther was a whole other person before he was a butler. I was curious.
But he shows you he has range. He could go from crazy psycho to a sophisticated butler.
I would argue that that's more psycho, but what was really psycho, Mariah May brings a taser out, which shocks us all, pun intended, shocks us all completely. Luther stops her.
I was hoping she was going to use it.
No, Luther stops her, and that gets him drop kicked into a table of champagne, and that's the last we see of Luther in this match.
Yeah, he was gone from then.
Not too long after that, Toni gives Mariah sky high off the stage and through the production table. And I mean, this is within the first 3 minutes of the match type shit.
Through the table, starting it off the stage, by the way, too, man. Just started it off that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then we move it down a little bit. We get a Storm Zero from Mariah to Toni Storm on the steel steps, which busts Toni open. Kayfabe busts Toni open a lot. And then it's followed up with a hip attack with a chair onto Toni Storm, which doesn't keep Toni down for even a 2 count.
She had the Crimson Mask heavy. It was heavy Crimson Mask for her.
Yeah. She was bleeding profusely. And then to my delight, we get a makeshift mid-match Type A death match.
Yo, when that happened, everyone in this household was screaming like, holy shit. I never seen one before, so this would be my first time seeing that type of style. But it was perfect for me seeing it with 2 characters that I like and 2 female wrestlers that are my absolute favorite of this AEW and women roster in general.
So many hardcore wrestling fans popped. I mean, and then Akira popped. The Rotten Brothers popped. We all popped.
Give me a hell yeah.
Collectively. I sent out a tweet about it. I was like, I love it. And then the broken glass spots were all over. I mean, we had like 100 other broken glass spots, not literally 100. Let's not be literal about it, but the popping, like hitting Toni between the legs with the champagne bottle.
Hit her in the
ruthless.
Dang, bro, and just this is one of those matches that I kind of want to show people. Just be like, you want to see something really cool? And they're going to be like, no. And I'm going to be like, well, I'm going to show you anyway. And I'm going to post and put this on.
I have a couple like that. I sent out a tweet. This match deserves an award. So, I mean, maybe it'll get one at the end of the year.
I think it's going to make it because this is definitely wrestling of the year, match of the year to me, for sure.
Then Tony goes for the shoe. Mariah May runs away. Tony chases her and whips her with the title. Got a good callback there. A lot of great callbacks in this. I think that's something you even pointed out. Like,
damn right, full circle.
Drink it in, man.
Tony stabs Mariah with the shoe repeatedly. I mean, repeatedly. Then Storm zeroes her through the table on the stage and pins her for 3. And just beautiful. This match, 5-star banger. Honestly, I got emotional at the ending of it because it's not only an amazing storyline, but it shows how far these women were willing to go to make it a 5-star match and how far as a whole women's wrestling has come and grown. And like, wow, we have one of the best matches of the year right now. These 2 women did that shit. They did that.
They absolutely knocked it out the park. They killed it. And the ending shot with Tony, Timeless Tony, on top of Mariah's May, kind of like nuzzling on her chest, like just sitting there looking like and Mariah May sold it like she's dead, like she doesn't even seem like she's breathing. And then the title is literally on the back of Tony Storm as they're doing a bird's eye view pan shot. And it looked amazing. I love the shot. The cinematography part of it really made me feel like, yes, I'm loving everything. Because it felt like a movie. It felt like a Hollywood ending. And then you pan it out and it says "The End" in the credits on the Titantron.
Yeah.
As the music is playing and she's looking at the other role, the other character, the star role character, and they're playing dead. Like, it was just, the only thing that I wish I could add if I was there, I would have threw bouquets. Dead ass. I would have just bought a whole bunch of bouquets and started throwing them on the stage.
Dude, it's a perfect Hollywood ending. It's the perfect Hollywood ending.
Drink it in, man.
I feel like, if you find a way to do more with those 2 down the line, you're a genius, because I don't see how you top that one. I feel like Tony Storm just moves on from this point and has banger matches with other people. Like,
I think so too.
Like Megan Bayne.
Acknowledge me.
Yes. Sign me up. I'm a big fan of Megan Bayne.
Now, we're moving on to one that I was really excited for. I feel like you'll probably share in the same excitement as I did. International title time. Omega Takeshita time. I sent out a tweet during it, Omega versus Takeshita, and it's a gif of Goku and Vegeta facing off against each other. That's how it felt. That's how this fight feels to me. It's Goku versus Vegeta.
Definitely I like that comparison. That's the word I'm looking for, the comparison. I like that.
Kenny Omega, God level entrance. God level entrance.
I like we said, we showed you the shot of Kenny, the shot that they took with the pyro.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll put it on the screen. I'll throw it up on the screen so everybody can see it.
That shot showed you, I'm like, I think me and Mike were the only ones that were going for Kenny compared to my 2 other friends that were watching it with us. They were going for big body take Takeshita. And to my surprise, this match knocked it out the park. Delivered. My man.
I had to bring Kenny in on this.
Right.
Kenny, guest on the show.
Yeah, special guest Kenny. Special guest Kenny.
Takeshita comes out not looking like anybody's young boy either. He's champion, and he comes in with wins over Omega, and that's something that's huge. Like, you come in with 2 wins over Kenny Omega already. You're not nobody's young boy. Nice, dude. You pulled it with a signed figure.
Drink it in, man.
Had to do it for the GOAT, God of Pro Wrestling, greatest.
How do you have 2 of the greatest professional wrestlers autograph and don't flex it as much as you should?
You know, I'm a humble man.
I'm a humble man. All right, let's scroll down. Like I said, Takeshita's not his young boy anymore. This match was... He's beaten Omega a couple times. I think that's also why I felt like Omega was going to win this match, to be honest. You just can't see Omega losing to Takeshita that many times.
Yeah.
Match starts off slow, but it gets its legs. Slow never means bad, and I feel like that's a misconception. Sometimes I'll say, yeah, the match starts off slow, and people are like, so you said it's a bad match?
No, psychology, my guy. You got to pace it. Know when to hype up and get people, like a roller coaster, up and down, keeping it going, keeping it sometimes steady. Then you hit them with turns. You got some loop-de-loops. You got some drops.
Dude, nothing hits me harder than loop-de-loops.
So
we see it get hotter when we see the table get brought out on the outside. We see the fight get taken outside. Table gets set up, and it takes a while to get back to that table. First, we see a bunch of hard hits and Don Callis getting involved in the match a couple times, which couldn't be surprised there. That was also on the bingo card of things to happen. We see Kenny flip the table upside down and make the crowd boo. Yeah, crowds are going to boo if you mess up the table. And Takeshita gives him a gut buster on the back edge of the table.
Poor Kenny, man. I was feeling for him in his damn abdomen section throughout the whole match.
Yeah, he got hit in the abdomen several times because you think that was bad. Takeshita takes it a step further by setting the table up on its side, yelling out, "I'm going to kill him," and then giving him another gut buster onto the table's edge this time. Ruthless. Oh, that was cringeworthy, dude.
That table went into business for itself.
You take it back to the ring for more hard hits, hard to look spots, not to mention some signatures, close calls, false finishes, like all the things you would have expected from this match. It was the best type of typical. Don Callis tries to get involved, and it almost cost Kenny the match. Almost. After a series of roll-up pins, Kenny Omega pins Takeshita, wins the international title. And I was happy not only as a fan, but as a fantasy booker, because I called this direction happening. And my go-to from here, and I've had a couple people agree, if we're building to Omega and Okada, we're trying to also unify the international and continental championships together. So, title for title, all in, it's coming. Prophecy is being fulfilled.
Drink it in, man.
He out-wrestled him. Damn.
I had to get him with the boom.
Acknowledge me.
But yeah, he out-wrestled him in this match, and was surprisingly that he did hit a one-wing angel to win it. That's what made it to me so much better. The fact I was rubbing that into my friend's face so hard. I was like, he didn't even have to use the one-wing angel. He just out-wrestled him because he has that wisdom, he has that knowledge. And I said, he added a new belt to his collection.
Yeah, I love that title's design too. So anybody who holds it, I'm like, yes, my man's holding it.
Yeah.
All the champions that held that belt, man, nothing but phenomenal superstars.
Thank you.
All right, pulling up after that. This is what was crazy, is this card was so good and so stacked, and the latter half of this pay-per-view was so just like nonstop go action. I forgot there was a whole steel cage match on the card until I think it was right around the tag team title match. The Hurt Syndicate was making their entrance, and I looked up above Bobby Lashley, and I was like, oh yeah, there's a steel cage tonight.
That match, let's get into it. I'm excited to break this one down.
A lot of bad blood going into this match, and it was sure to deliver. I know that much. I thought, going back to match placement, this match was placed perfectly on the card. This was the exact place of where it was supposed to be. Maybe even, you take it a step further, it could have went to be the main event itself, but then we argue, all right, what about the women? Fletcher climbs up the side of the cage to the top during his entrance and awaits Ospreay there. Ospreay has a crazy, sick dubstep intro to his entrance that made me go, I'm talking bananas, bananas completely.
At one point, my friend said, "Did this turn into an EDM concert?" I was like,
yes.
It might have. It might just have, and I'm okay with it.
I'm here for it. He gets it segues into Elevated, though. He gets on the top of the cage at the other side and stares down Kyle. And that's just like, that's going to be one of those in 5-10 years when we're on the DVD best moments. This is going to be on that. That is a moment.
Had that Dragon Ball Z anime vibe where you could see the electricity going.
Yes.
Like just from the aura around them. And then there's just the eye. Will Ospreay never took his eyes off of Kyle. Kyle never took his eyes off of him. As they're standing from one corner to the other corner on both standing there just like menacingly, looking like, this is it. This is it. I'm going to kill this man.
Will climbs down first, followed by Fletcher. Bell rings, and they start fighting hard. And the match is just about as bloody and physical as you would have expected. Also, let's mention the exposed turnbuckle shots and the utilization of the cage in the match. Got the appropriate amount of violent.
Just a little bit of violence.
They start getting gross and licking each other's blood off their boots and such. I wasn't a fan of that part.
Jamie was losing her shit, bro. She was like, ugh. Ty, she made everyone laugh at the house because she just said it in a quiet part when everyone got quiet. She's like, ugh, Sky, get your man.
Come get your man.
Come get your man. Everyone in the house busted out laughing because we're like, this man, Mike even called him. He's like, that's Freaky Fletcher. I said, Freaky Fletcher's what they call him now.
Then we see Mark Davis come out with bolt cutters and a bag of weapons and break into the cage to give Kyle not only the bag of weapons, but a chair. Ospreay actually gets the bag of weapons first and kicks. Oh, Kenny just fell.
I was watching that in slow motion.
That's hilarious. It scared the patootie out of me. I was like, what just happened? Yeah, Ospreay grabs the bag first and pulls out a barbed wire baseball bat and gets brutal with it. Nothing like a barbed wire baseball bat spot. He gave a little ode to Cactus Jack as well. Just didn't have that in the notes. Want to throw that in there? I'm actually going to get to meet him this next week. So
next year, bro. I want you to can you ask them about that? Can you ask them about that? What did you think about that? A little homage she paid.
You know, he's a childhood hero who I've been waiting to meet for my whole life. So I might not get to remember everything I should ask him.
Just stand there, Kenny.
I know. It's funny because behind him, the backdrop behind him is the Elder Scrolls map, the Skyrim map. So Kenny's in Skyrim right now. Kyle pulls out a United Empire armband out of his trunks and tries to fool Ospreay, and it doesn't work, but it does get Ospreay a little blowed. He then wipes his blood off with the Empire armband and then shoves it into Ospreay's mouth. That was dirty.
He was something else this whole match, bro. He was something else.
Ospreay hits a hidden blade and a Stormbreaker and pins Kyle, but Mark Davis comes in and breaks this up, and I thought that was it. I mean, Stormbreaker, that's it. But that's the end of the match, so I was very shocked. Half-ass Aussie Open reunion here to beat up Ospreay, but Ospreay evades it, counters it, gets the better of them both, even hitting a hidden blade onto the chair to Mark Davis.
That spot was definitely what we call in the business tough.
Yeah, it's a bittersweet thing for me because, again, I'm a huge, not only Aussie Open fan, that's one of my favorite tag teams all time, but overall, I love United Empire, so this is like, oh, it's cool to see them all back together, like the big dogs back together, but they all hate each other. It's bittersweet.
Only Don could do that, man. Don, they said it in the commentary. That's all his working, how he made two best friends to go apart from each other and make them want to hate each other and kill each other.
Absolute piece of garbage, that man. Then we see Ospreay hit an Os cutter off the top of the cage onto Kyle, and this doesn't keep Kyle down for a 3 count, surprisingly. I thought that had to be it. That's the end right there.
Nah.
Ospreay wraps barbed wire around his arm and goes to finish Kyle, but Kyle runs to the top of the cage and grabs the infamous screwdriver and stabs Ospreay.
Yeah, he did attempted murder, bro. He stabbed him multiple times with that screwdriver.
You know, in the past year alone, I've seen a man get suffocated. I've seen a man get stabbed. This wrestling company is pushing the boundaries. I saw a man go through glass and hung upside down.
You saw a man get lit on fire, too.
Dude, I saw that.
Yeah.
I've seen so much violence that I forgot about seeing a man get set on fire. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Fletcher hits the brainbuster and another following through a steel chair and attempts to pin Ospreay, but Willie kicks out, and that just shows you that these guys don't want to lose to each other that damn badly. Kyle then gets the black bag of tacks, my favorite thing to see sometimes, but finds himself getting Styles clashed into them. He somehow finds the strength to kick out of that as well. I was like, what? Dude, how much can the man kick out of?
Tell me about it, man. it was nothing but false finishes at this point, and I was just like, "This has to be it. Nope, that's not it. Oh, this has to be it. Oh, that's not it. Oh, this one for sure has to be it. Oh, that's not it either."
Kyle climbs the cage. Ospreay follows with the screwdriver in his teeth, and they begin fighting up top over the screwdriver. And Will wins the exchange, stabbing Kyle on the head. They stand up on top of the cage, and I say I'm scared a bunch of times. And then we see Will hit a Spanish fly off the top of the cage. He lands kind of funny, but I think everybody landed as safely as they could on that spot.
That's a 20-foot drop that was, by the way.
Kyle gets to his knees and screams at Will words that I will not repeat because they will make my job very hard, and I should not repeat them as I'm a man of the Lord. So then Ospreay gives him a hidden blade, a wedgie, and a tiger driver, then pins him. Yeah. What a match. Not only what a match, what a collection of moments. Again, I feel like this goes on my greatest AEW moments list.
You just made the list!
That match is definitely something we're going to be talking about for years and years to come.
I also want to say, Mike, I watch a lot of DVDs often. That's how I watch most of my wrestling, just because I'm a weird old head. But I recently, this past week, watched it's called Bloodbath, Bloodiest Steel Cage Matches, and I feel like this goes into that category. This runs that category. Bloody Steel Cage Matches. Put Fletcher on the top. Move on to our main event.
For the main event.
It's time.
For the main event.
Edge comes out to a raucous LA crowd singing his theme. Ever since Australia, every crowd's wanted to do that, but LA's been the closest to do it.
I was happy hearing the U.S. finally getting on top of that, because I always felt that was just a European thing that does it, because America needs to learn the assignment, and they nailed the assignment today.
Well, some of them just need to learn all the words. Like, I've been singing that song word for word since I was 9 years old, 10 years old. So, like, if y'all don't know the words by now, you need to get with the program.
Look up the lyrics. I had no shame looking up the lyrics to Judas.
Judas was funny because, like, I didn't even see that coming. When Judas first came out as a single, it was, like, way before AEW came around. I was listening to it because I was like, this is a hard song. I even got a tattoo of an alien and named him Judas because I was listening to the song. So then to, like, fast forward and see arenas full of people singing a song that I was already jamming 2 years before, that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, well, I can join in on this one.
I know the words.
Yes, I did it. Moxley comes out alone with a briefcase in his own hands, and this goes back to my tweet before. Like, I felt like he was going to have some help coming tonight, somebody we maybe didn't see. And Dirt Sheets were saying we were going to get a big debut or maybe a big return tonight, so it's kind of like, all right, what are we going to see?
What do we want to talk about?
Shows how much they know.
Amen. I was surprised to know how many people going in thought Moxley was losing the belt. What did you think?
No, not in 1 second. I think he was losing the belt.
I didn't either. I was. A lot of people said, "Yep, I feel like this is it. This is the moment he does." I'm like, I don't see it.
No, the story. He's no.
They start the match with a slugfest of strike exchanges rather than a traditional collar and elbow tie lockup, which, as Taz was saying on commentary, really wears you down even faster.
But this bitch is getting on my nerves.
Moxley gets a little rough, tells JR that he's going to get to see Copeland's career full circle from start to finish, meaning that JR helped bring Adam Copeland Edge into the business, started him, and now we'll see him die in this ring tonight and end his career here. During the mid portion of this match, we just get to smacking each other around in slower paced offense, which is hard to chill through for me after that insane steel cage match. I was like, I know this is going to be a good match, but we got to pick it up. I'm tired.
Bro, I think the energy of the arena, they saw so much in that last match. Definitely, they needed a second to breathe.
I understand Copeland shouldn't be expected to wrestle some fast-paced, back-and-forth banger or anything like that, but it was just a weird transition from that match to this match. It's like, well, I was just on the edge of my seat, and now getting through each individual hit 5 seconds apart at a time. Just didn't want to nod off. Now, luckily, change in momentum does happen after Edge spears Mox to the outside, and then Moxley turns it around, slams Cope into the steps, exposes part of the floor on the outside, and slams Adam Copeland's face into it.
I was like, it was rough watching that because I was like, he wants to snap this man's neck. He really wants to end him. I think he's really trying to put him away for good and make sure he's retired. So I was like, damn, Mox, chill the hell out, bro.
They take it back in the ring, and it slows back down drastically. Moxley chokes Edge for a very long time. And then Moxley and Bryce Remsburg get into a verbal exchange. Moxley goes and grabs a chair. Bryce stops this, but then gets knocked out, and who knows what'll happen next. Moxley goes and grabs 2 chairs and sets Edge up for the concerto, but Edge kicks the chair up into Moxley's face. Both men clothesline each other, and then we see Wheeler Yuta come down to the ring. And this obviously was in the story was telling him, like, okay, Wheeler Yuta just got respect from Adam Copeland, no respect from Jon Moxley. He's coming out mean-mugging Moxley. Are we going to see a Yuta turn? I knew as soon as he was mean-mugging Jon Moxley, oh, yeah, he's coming out to help Mox get this in the bag. I could see right through Wheeler Yuta, man. I could see right through him.
I saw him. He's transparent.
We see Jay White come out to stop it, grab the briefcase, accidentally smash Copeland with it. Moxley goes to pin him after that, and with a very slow count, Edge kicks out. So we continue on from there. Mox argues with Bryce some more. Then he turns around into a spear, and Edge pins Moxley, but Mox kicks out. This was starting to get really interesting to me at this point because it's like, yo, he's down now.
So
Continue on. Copeland hits him with another spear and another spear, 2 spears back to back. Tries to pin him again, but Christian, with his little hoodie on, pulls the referee out and cashes in his contract, legitimately signs it, cashes it in, makes the match a triple threat, spears Edge, but Edge kicks out. Christian hits him with the kill switch. Moxley comes in and chokes Christian. And even as Christian is being choked, he tries to pin Edge a couple times. Doesn't work. Gets choked out. Moxley retains, and that just leaves like a hole. I ran through that entire finish so we could get to the bullet points of like, did Christian really just cash in the contract and fail?
Yes, and I was okay with that. Some people in my house, mainly one particular person, was upset with it. And I was all like, well, yeah, I compared it to, has there been people in WWE have cashed their money in the bank briefcase, and did they succeed? Are there some people that failed cashing in their money in the briefcase? And he was like, well, yeah. And I was like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's just one of those moments.
You take it the exact same. And then likewise, even though like we don't actually have in AEW an exact money in the bank sort of stipulation, because that would also be copyright. But we've tried it with, the Casino Gauntlet chip. MJF cashed it in at Full Gear to win the title off of Mox. There's like
the brass ring one was another one.
Yeah, when Scorpio Sky got the big ring. There's been like implications of it, but this was, I think, probably the closest, and I feel like something that's going to be reoccurring. So for the first one to be a failed one, and then also, and this is what I love this idea about the storyline and why it doesn't bother me specifically, but I can see how other people are like, yeah, that's stupid. I love the idea that Christian would opportunistically, I use that word specifically, opportunistically cash it in on Edge, who made that style of cashing in famous, and then simultaneously also be the reason that Edge can't win it and Moxley walks out with it. It tells a much bigger story, and I think that story could even grow and culminate into a big one-on-one all-in match this year. So I'm all for it. I don't love it. I feel like maybe the contract could have been cast in like, all out after all in. Maybe we could just run it way further in the future, but hey, doesn't take the belt off of Jon Moxley, so I'm fine with it.
Yep.
As a fan, I'm like, oh yeah, perfect. This is great. But as looking at the creative of it, I'm like, okay, so we really could build a big one-on-one Edge versus Christian all in with whatever stipulation we want to throw in on that. Maybe another barbed wire steel cage.
that's cool.
Maybe we'll see. I'm excited to see where this is going to go, though. Between Christian and Edge, I think this is definitely not done. I think this is a new storyline for him to now. If since he's now in the back of the line with Mox, he can definitely do a storyline with Christian now.
Great segue. Edge is going to branch off to that storyline. Mox is now branching off to what we're getting ready for next AEW pay-per-view, Dynasty, one of my favorites, as you know. Moxley versus Swerve at Dynasty, and I'm ready for that. Now, Prince Nana meets Moxley at the end of the exit way, and Swerve posts up like Spider-Man, posts up atop the sectional seating railing and dives off onto Moxley. I'm loving it. Again, I was there. I think you were there too. I'm not sure. I don't remember who's at what live show anymore, but was there live during the first Continental Classic when we saw John Moxley and Swerve Strickland. It was neck and neck in that match. John Moxley barely won. So I'm excited to see it. I'm excited. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I might actually think that Swerve has the chance to win the title back at Dynasty again. So,
ooh, bold prediction.
You think Swerve can win it back?
I think it's hard not to say. It's hard not to say no because look at everything. If you didn't think Hangman was the main character and you wanted to see someone else be that guy, I feel like definitely Swerve could be definitely also main character material. He's white hot right now. He never's lost it. He gives you the coolest. He's like the coolest bad guy, like coolest heel, baddest man, dangerous man. He fits checks every box that what you want in a wrestler. So to me, I think it's possible. Yes. I'm actually very intrigued to see how he's going to win it because I guarantee it's not going to be easy. I'm pretty sure by the time the Death Riders will all accumulate again, and we'll see how he's going to handle this.
I'm jealous that I don't get to be at this Dynasty again. Like I kind of made a running joke. Like, well, since the first one was in St. Louis and I just got to up and go to that one all the way down here from Texas, hell of a road trip. I was like, let's just make it a thing. No matter where it's at, every year I'm going to be at Dynasty. When I saw it was in Philly, I was like, I don't want no smoke with the crazy Philly fans. Shout out to Philly. We love them. They're great. They can have what they have, and we'll just chill over here in safety. Safety.
Yeah, man, they love their wrestling. That's a definitely hardcore wrestling crowd. And
dude, that's ECW land. That's the ECW lands. So
they'll let you know how they feel.
Thank you so much for watching this episode today, and we will continue very shortly. But I want to quickly give a thank you to the sponsor of today's episode and talk about something that I've recently been getting into. And if you're a really on-the-go, busy type of person like I am, you'll want to hear this. Today's episode is sponsored by Optavia, a low-sodium, calorie-efficient, sustainable diet plan that not only is catered to helping you reach your weight loss goals, but links you in with a personal health coach to help guide you alongside your health journey. And the best part, your coach is somebody who has already been on the same weight loss journey and found success in doing so. So not only a healthy diet that will supply you with ready meals and low-calorie snacks, but link you in with somebody who can help keep you motivated and educated on your way to a successful weight loss journey. I myself have been doing the diet, and I am really happy with the results so far, guys. I get a lot of these turkey meatball meals. The beef stew is my go-to lunch. A lot of times when I'm getting ready for the day, you will see me drinking on these Optavia shakes that I love. And the most important thing about this is how often I drink water. You drink a lot of water. It seems like it's hard, but I'm telling you personally, my coach keeps me educated, motivated, and properly hydrated. It is achievable. If you would like to get in contact with our show's personal coach and get started on your Optavia health journey, contact our email listed below in the description with the word Optavia. That's OPTAVIA. Or just head over to www.optavia.com and get started on your own time with your own coach. Now, back to the program.
I'm prepared to give my final pay-per-view thoughts, and these ones are actually pretty extensive, a little longer than normal, but that's because this pay-per-view surprised me in a slight way. I was both excited and reluctant heading into this pay-per-view. Only reluctant due to the fact that the event was on a Sunday night rather than a Saturday night. It's costing me significant sleep tonight, the night before this episode will air. I got a long night of editing ahead of me, but I'm never I never have a low bar for AEW pay-per-views. And I think the first half of the show felt like it was just regular, normally good. It was just like a regular good event, pay-per-view standard level, but nothing major. I would have rated the first half of this pay-per-view 3 stars if it were just that by itself. If the match or if the card stopped with Swerve and Ricochet main eventing, hey, that's a good 3-star event. It was a fun time. But the second half of this card was insane. I mean, absolutely bonkers. I tweeted out wall-to-wall, nonstop action, but even the slower action was still great quality, and some of the matches on this card alone should get 4 to 5 stars by themselves. So, event as a whole, I'm giving it a firm, solid 4 out of 5, 4 stars. I mean, it's like as rock solid as it gets. It's a great pay-per-view. Just run it on a Saturday next time.
I think that's fair enough. It was funny because I wanted to give it a 5-star, but realistically, like you said, there's some things that, to me, in my personal opinion, that made it 4. I would give it a 4. That's, like I said, this is my opinion, how I feel about it. That's just me. So I think 4, fair enough, is a good one because it doesn't deserve a 5 for my own opinions. But I could see how it could be 4.5 to some people, maybe. Yeah. I think 4 is a fair enough number.
That is fair. That's as fair as fair gets. I asked Dylan. I text both Dylan and Mike at 11:11 because I wanted their input on it so they could have a little poll on the show. I asked them each the question, what did you think about the pay-per-view? And they both gave me very like simplistic answers. So I was like, all right, cool. Dylan's, he said, I would have had Tony and Mariah main event and close. Excuse me. And that I agree with that. And then likewise, I feel like because of what happens at the end of the main event with Swerve and Nana and the whole like we're getting to Dynasty now, it made more sense for the AEW World Title to main event.
Mm-hmm.
Mike's response was probably my favorite. I asked him, what did you think about the pay-per-view? It was bonkers. And that was all he said. It was bonkers. That's it.
Typical Mike answer. I like it.
It was bonkers. It was 4 stars. It was great. I've never seen a bad Revolution in my life. So
it was great, man. Packed crowd, almost sold out. I think they needed like 400 more tickets sold to been. They would have been sold out. Supposedly on the ticket, that one, there's I forget what it's called, like Wrestle Tickets or whatever.
Wrestle Tix.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, shout out to Wrestle Tix. Give them some love. I'm actually subscribed to their Patreon. That's how I get some of my pre-sale codes.
Nice. Ooh, man. Go watch this pay-per-view if y'all haven't. Y'all doing yourselves a disservice if you haven't. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, Wrestling in the Middle. Don't forget to hit that Amazon LinkedIn.
Watch the review on Prime. Get you some AEW Amazon exclusive tees while you're on Amazon. Get them through us.
Next, yeah, man.
It's the Revolution of Evolution, or the Evolution of Revolution. I actually think it's the Kid Cudi song RevoFeb is Revolution of Evolution, but we're going to switch it around for this episode. This has been the Evolution of Revolution. We did it. Thanks for joining me. We clocked in overtime.
Always.
Let me show off my sick Kenny Omega shirt one more time before I leave.
Do it for Kenny. We did it.
New international champion.
Ooh, 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 ooh.